So, real quick, you hinted on Dan Brown. Some people are going to say, okay, well, mythicism, right. What about Jesus and Mary Magdalene? I mean, there are other accounts that basically they went off and they had a kid and all that stuff. How do scholars approach that kind of claim? Because we've all heard it.
Scholars think it's laughable. Laughable. You know, Dan Brown, Da Vinci Code, he's got his little fact page, remember that? And it's all baloney. It's based on Richard Lee and Michael Bajan's silly book, Holy Blood, Holy Grail, where that's where that argument was made. And so Dan Brown, in his naivete, he's a high school teacher, teaches Spanish, no degree in history, no degree in Greek, no degree in Christian beginnings, no degree in archaeology. And so he thinks, oh, this is a real book on history. And of course, it's borderline hoax. And so he then writes this murder mystery. Of course, it's all very exciting. But he assumes that Holy Blood, Holy Grail is the truth about Jesus and Mary Magdalene and their Holy Grail, that is their royal bloodline through some little girl that they had who goes to France and establishes a French royal dynasty. It's all baloney. No scholar accepts that. It's total fiction from beginning to end. Dan Brown thinks he's writing actual history, but he's naive on that, and he just doesn't know any better.
So none of these theories, and again, this isn't just Christian scholars. These are scholars. These are skeptics. These are people of different faith traditions. Dismiss the mythical argument.
It took a long time. I mean, the book came out in April of 2003. I ignored it, of course, and then my mother-in-law sent me a copy for Christmas reading. So I got my grading finished. It's December, and so I spent about a week reading the book. When I got about 1/3 of the way through, the mythical character Sir Lee Teabing, who supposedly knows everything, and that's for Richard Lee and Bajent, an anagram, Teabing. That's where it comes from. And so he starts espousing these things about the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Gnostic Gospels, the canonical Gospels, historical Jesus. Hey, baby, that is my field. And I get out my little pad of stickies and I start sticking in notes. This guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Here, here, here. And it's just, it's feathered, the book, with these yellow stickies. So then the break's over, January, back in school, and I bump into a colleague at Acadia University, and I just happen to say, I read Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code, and the person said, oh yeah, I read it too. I don't know anything about the Bible. I just know about art, and he doesn't know what he's talking about art. Oh, really? Because I don't know anything about art. What I know is Gospels, Dead Sea Scrolls, that kind of stuff. He doesn't know anything about that. I thought that was my first warning. Now, it's January 2004. I started systematically checking with other colleagues. Well, I don't know anything about this and that, but I know medieval history. Dan Brown doesn't know anything about that. What I found out was everything he talked about, every topic, every subject, he got wrong. But it took the secular public a couple years to figure that out. And when the movie came out in May of 2006, starring Tom Hanks, remember that? Sir Robert Langdon from Harvard, professor of symbology. It doesn't exist, by the way. That's a myth. Anyway, and as one reviewer said, it was like watching the movie was watching Tom Hanks look confused for 2 hours. That actually summed it up pretty well. I mean, I had to watch it, occupational hazard. Very true. Well, the reviewers finally started coming out saying, what a lot of baloney. And one reviewer said, now, wait a minute, let's go easy on Dan. He doesn't get everything wrong. He has London in England and Paris in France.
So it's really a work of fiction. Wow.